Okay, we're going to talk about linking an HTML and a CSS file. I already have the HTML file set up in week 2 HTML. Everything is the same as we've been doing before. Within the body tag, I have an H1 titled "This is CSS," or rather, I should say, that is the text that's being displayed over here in the browser preview. And then there's a paragraph that talks about CSS. So those are the only two things I have. Now, to connect our CSS with HTML, I'm going to go off screen here and let's see, make sure I'm in Dreamweaver here and open up a new CSS document. So normally when you select this, the HTML might be selected. We're going to select CSS and create. All right, now this will show up for a second. Don't worry about that. All right, so now this is our CSS document. It starts off with charset UTF-8. That's great. That's what we need. Don't even worry about knowing what that means. But this is a CSS document. This is a comment. This will not show up in the CSS. This is just to let us know this is the CSS document. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to select, I want to make sure this document is working with our HTML document right here, which you can preview. So now I'll go to the CSS document and we need to select something. So these two coding languages, don't get bogged down by when I say this is a coding language or it's a framework or whatever this is. This is really simple and easy to understand. So this CSS language communicates to the HTML, and you do that with selectors. So right now we're going to select the body right here. So we're going to tell everything from this tag to this tag right there to do something. All right, and I usually start off by doing this really simple thing. So I'll select body by typing out body. And now we're going to get into a bit of formatting, and we'll start off simple. So we'll say body, and then we'll put in this left curly bracket and press enter. And now we can start typing out our commands. And I'll show you how to gather these, and you'll learn these different commands later. One of the easiest commands you can, or attributes you can change is background. And usually when you start typing something out, Dreamweaver will fill it in for you or give you an option, and then I can just click through this whole thing almost. Now this isn't complete. I need a semicolon. So this is specific. You need the item you're selecting. So I'm telling my HTML to select the body element and make the background color aqua. Okay? And then it needs to be within these curly brackets. Okay, and I'm formatting it this way just so I can easily understand it. But I'm selecting the background color, then I put a colon, then I put the color name. You can also put a hexadecimal number like this. Let's just select this red right here. Dreamweaver has this, so it'll put in this color right here. See, if I press enter, it enters in the color. Or you can type out aqua. I usually do this hexadecimal color number right there. Okay, so now that's selecting the body background color. The next thing we need to do is save this. So I'm going to press Command S to save this. Now I'm in my Intro to Web folder in week 2, and I will call this styles.css. I always call my documents styles.css, and so do a lot of people. I would recommend calling it either style or styles.css. You can technically name it whatever you want, but it's just a common thing to name it styles.css. All right, so I'm going to save that now to there, and now that is saved. And usually it doesn't work right away. What I'm going to do is actually, this is a funky thing with Dreamweaver. It won't, I forgot. It won't recognize it because I don't have a link. Okay, so we'll put the link in right here at the bottom here. And if we, let's see, I wonder if we start typing it out. href, ref. No, it doesn't automatically fill it in for it. It might, but what we'll do is we'll go to the internet, go to this browser, and let's see, I'll type in link HTML to CSS. There you go, right there, filled in. I'll go click on the W3 Schools link, and I'm looking for, that's the color right there, and that's some CSS. Did I already pass it? Where did it go? I want to link it with that. That's internal CSS, you don't want that. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. So this is the document. This is basically what we're looking at right here, doc type HTML. And I'm looking for this right here. Well, it's not an Ahref, it's this link right there. Link related to CSS. Let's put that right here. It is style sheet, and then is referencing styles.css. See, that's how they call it. That's why I save it as styles.css. It's just a uniform. Okay, so now link to styles.css. I will save this. Oh, nice, it did it right away for me. See, it threw it in right there, perfect. So this file and this file are the exact same, so I'm just gonna close that one out. That way just clean things up a bit. All right, great, so they're linking. Dreamweaver did its job, that's great. Now if I go back to untitled document, boom, there you go. See, now they're talking back and forth. So I'm have the body selection right there, and then I'm saying body background color, change to this color. Let's delete that and just say, well, there you go, it changes to white. You can see the preview. If you press the, let's see, Shift 3 to get the pound sign or the hashtag sign, you can choose your own color. Dreamweaver, the browser's gonna freak out for a second on the right. We'll choose this nice looking blue and press enter and save, and then it will change that color. All right, now what other elements do we have on the page? We have an H1 and a paragraph tag. So let's select the H1 tag. See, it says H1 right here, so we have to type out that exact thing, H1. Not too difficult. I'm gonna start a new line right here and say, okay, all the H1s here, and then I'll do a right curly bracket, press enter, and then click that little menu away. And now let's write out color. That's gonna change the actual color of the text. And let's type out white, semicolon. Then that'll, as soon as I type that semicolon, that's coding formatting, and I'll save it. It's already doing it. See, it changed the H1 to CSS, right? Now, check this out. We talked about cascading style sheets. All right, let's illustrate this right here. So what if I told everything in the body, the color to be red? Specifically, when I type out color, that will change text color only, okay? Not other colors, okay? So if I change that, if I say color red for everything in the body, which is the H1 in the paragraph, that will make everything red, except it didn't make this is CSS red, right? Because this is cascading. So you can think of that as the further you go down, the more important things should get, or rather, the further down in this CSS document, the furthest down element that says something should change will trump everything else, okay? So if I had deleted this, I just deleted white, let's just delete this whole thing right here. Boom, it changes to red. I'll undo that, it changes to white, okay? So this is how you should work, is specify most everything and then go down and make more specific declarations later. Now this is just red, that's just terrible. Navy, great, that's a little better. All right, and you can do all sorts of commands. Hey, Bob. You can make all sorts of commands. Let's see if we can look this up. CSS, style sheet, or style commands. We'll talk about some of these in, oh, here we go, CSS examples. We'll talk about these in class. You can set all sorts of these element selectors, IDs and elements. You can change background colors, text colors. We'll go and we'll talk about some of these in class. You can change the border of elements, the padding and the spacing, and so on, okay? But see if you can get this basic setting working with getting your HTML document set up and then a CSS page set up and linked so that you're ready to go in class on Friday. All right, email me if you guys have any questions. Thanks. Recorded a quick video for HTML, or for